Tonight on KGW News, a homecoming fit for a hero.
Olympic medalist Jade Carey gets the star treatment from friends, family, and fans in Corvallis.
Also tonight, the former Oregon Ducks going back to their college days with a rock opera revival.
For all of us to be together on that stage, magic is really going to happen.
Plus, a family of 5 rescued after getting stuck in a dangerous spot on the Willamette.
Very scary situation to be in.
But first, pleading for answers in a mysterious disappearance.
Well, you have all these different scenarios going on in your head. You're wondering what could have happened to her.
Why a Vancouver woman's grandmother and aunt say they believe she isn't coming back. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Christine Pitawanich. That Vancouver mother of 2 has been missing for nearly a year. Tonight, detectives with the Clark County Sheriff's Office tell us they believe she's dead and they've identified a suspect.
Alma McCarty has our top story.
You have all these different scenarios going on in your head. You're wondering what could have happened to her and if you're ever going to find her.
For nearly a year, these questions have plagued Joyce Carroll and Melissa Jimenez.
We've had a lot of sleepless nights. And all of us we've cried a lot of tears for sure.
Alana Carroll, who would be 34 this month, disappeared September of last year, last seen in Battleground.
Everything that we've heard leads us to believe that it was not a positive outcome.
No.
Both family and investigators believe Alana to be dead. The Clark County Sheriff's Office confirming an active investigation into this case and noting they've identified a suspect currently behind bars on unrelated charges.
We want her back, no matter what that is.
Exactly.
And yes, if there's someone responsible, then we want them held accountable.
As her aunt and grandmother wait for more answers, they remember Alana fondly as funny, charismatic, and popular.
Very forgiving. She had a loving heart, and she made friends easily. It was easy for her to make friends.
Recounting too her years-long struggles with addiction following a near-fatal car crash.
She started self-medicating however way she could. Friends of friends, whatever way she could to just stop the pain.
After 11 long months, they're asking for an end to their suffering.
What if this were someone that you loved? What if they were missing? What if someone did something to them? Wouldn't you want to know? Wouldn't you want them back?
Although investigators are working on leads, they haven't located Alana Carroll's remains or determined exactly what happened to her. As for the suspect, they say they are behind bars, but detectives aren't ready to release their name or share any more details. David, Christine?
Yeah, hoping for answers. Thank you, Alma.
Out of some of tonight's other headlines, Portland police are looking for more possible victims of a man accused in a disturbing sex crime case. Investigators say Lyle Gage Jr. spent 2 years threatening a teenager online, getting her to send him explicit videos of her 7-year-old sister. He was caught when he allegedly offered to pay another woman for nude photos of her child. Portland police want you to call them if you know of any other possible victims.
A Westland paper mill that's been operating for over a century says it plans to lay off the vast majority of its workers and shut down at the end of the month. In a letter to employees, the Willamette Falls Paper Company says it notified workers as soon as possible under difficult circumstances, though the exact details are unclear. Here's the mayor of Westland.
158 out of 200-something workers losing their job, and those are people that either live in Westland or live in the surrounding area and are part of our community because they come into Westland. So we're all really sad about it.
An industry association group says state laws and regulations are to blame for an overall downturn in the pulp and paper sector.
And in Southwest Washington, Level 3 Go Now evacuation orders are still in place in the northern part of the Trout Lake community. That's due to the Williams mine fire burning in Skamania County and headed toward Klickitat County. Lightning sparked it Monday. The fire has burned 4,500 acres and is 0% contained. There are several roads and trails closed in the Mount Adams Wilderness area as well.
Well, let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Matt Sfino. And Matt, wildfires are part of the reason we're calling for a weather impact alert day on Thursday.
Yeah, it's about the air quality and the smoke for us. You can see the fire clearly on the satellite imagery. Look at all the smoke it is producing. Here's Mount Adams. Here's the fire itself. There's a plume going east away from Portland. That's the upper level winds, but the mid-level, lower level winds are coming from the east to the west, and that's where our smoke and our haze have come from. There's another fire that started southwest of Mount Hood on Monday. That's also contributing some smoke. That's about 300-400 acres right now. Need to keep an eye on that one as well. So that's the source of our smoke, right? So far, the air quality not suffering too much. It's in the good, moderate category around the Portland area. You really have to be right on top of one of the fires to get into the really unhealthy categories of air quality. Hopefully we don't do that. You can see the smoke from our time lapse up at Timberline 2 on the south side of Mount Hood. So we're under an air quality alert until 8 o'clock on Thursday night. Then the westerly winds are going to kick back in. Things should begin to improve. But for tomorrow, we are calling it a weather impact alert day, mainly because of the air quality. It's going to get hot, but not as hot as we've been. Should stay below 95. Hazy, it'll be smog, smoke, particulate matter. Those that are sensitive to air quality issues, probably best to stay inside. Guys?
Yeah, good idea. Thank you so much, Matt. New tonight, we are learning about a close call on the Willamette, just a couple miles downstream from where renowned Portland chef Naomi Pomeroy drowned in a tubing accident last month. The latest incident on Monday was a terrifying ordeal for one family. Fortunately, everyone survived.
Well, John Adams is here. And John, you talked to a deputy who helped save a family of 5.
Yeah, David and Christine, the family was floating down the Willamette River near Corvallis in 2 inflatables that were tied together when they hit a partially submerged tree. That's when one raft popped and left the family in a life or death situation.
It was like, help, help, help.
Benton County Sheriff's Deputy Noah Lochner was patrolling the Willamette River with 2 other deputies Monday afternoon when they received a call of someone yelling for help. It took them about 5 minutes to find the family.
When we got there, we saw a woman kind of clinging to a log. The man was holding on to the raft saying, hey, help, help, I can't move. You know, if I let go or move, then this raft is going to go under and the kids are going to go into the water.
The deputies had to think quickly as the family struggled against the current.
And they were saying, hey, save the kids, save the kids. And so we ended up, we had to pull her out first because she was kind of in the direct line of our rescue. And then we were able to remove all 3 of the children off the raft.
They then pulled the man out of the river and brought them safely to shore.
The woman told me that she thought she was going to die.
Deputy Lochner says the family got stuck in a mess of downed trees and branches, referred to as a strainer. They're one of the most deadly obstacles people face on Oregon rivers. He says the situation could have been much worse.
We just happened to be at the right place, the right time, and I'm so thankful for that.
Deputy Lochner says everyone on the water should be wearing a life jacket and added that people shouldn't float using inflatables meant for swimming pools like this family was doing because they're just not durable enough. One more thing, to avoid tying multiple rafts together because it can lead to some close calls or worse when one person gets into trouble. David?
Yeah, we cannot hear those reminders enough. Thank you, John. New at 11, tonight was the first of 3 public feedback sessions around a PGE plan to clear 5 acres of trees in Portland's Forest Park to install some new power lines. The utility says it needs to update infrastructure near Highway 30 to meet growing electricity demand and that there are already lines in the area, though some residents said they were concerned about what the loss of Douglas firs and white oaks would mean for wildlife and their habitats.
Our greatest concern is you can't mitigate the types of change they want to do. They want to clear cut this. They want to wipe out a wetland. You can't mitigate this. The frogs, this is another big issue.
This is the one with the least amount of environmental impact, the least amount of impact to sensitive spaces, to property owners like homes and businesses.
Well, that was a PGE spokesperson there at the end. 2 more open houses are scheduled on September and October 24th at the Linton Community Center. The final decision will be up to Portland City Council.
You're watching KGW News at 11. When we return, a homecoming fit for an Olympic hero.
You guys have seen me at my ultimate lows and highs of highs and have never doubted me.
Oregon State lines up to greet Jade Carey, just back from Paris with some extra hardware in tow.
And for 4 decades, the last dragon slept. Now in a brand new Pacific Storyland, how these Oregon Ducks are bringing the quirky rock opera back to life.